In 2026, Xiaomi is no longer just a brand that makes good phones for the money. It's a full-scale ecosystem player that openly challenges Samsung, Apple, and Google, not with marketing noise, but with hardware decisions that actually matter. Custom silicon tuning, aggressive display tech, camera sensors pushed to their limits, and charging speeds that still look unreal to most competitors. But here's the problem. Xiaomi's lineup has become so wide that choosing the right model is harder than ever. Specs alone don't tell the full story anymore. Some phones look insane on paper but fall short in real use. Others fly under the radar while delivering near flagship performance for far less money. That's exactly why this ranking exists. Today, we're breaking down the top 5 Xiaomi smartphones of 2026 based on real-world performance, long-term value, camera consistency, thermals, battery behavior, and one key factor most reviews ignore: how these phones actually age after months of use. No marketing bias, no paid hype, just the Xiaomi phones that genuinely deserve your attention in 2026. Let's start.
This is the phone that proves Xiaomi still understands the budget game better than almost anyone else. Redmi Note 14 5G isn't trying to look like a flagship killer. It's designed to be a long-distance runner. A smartphone that feels confident, balanced, and surprisingly mature for its price class. The first thing you notice is the display. A 6.67-inch AMOLED panel with full HD Plus resolution and a smooth 120 Hz refresh rate. It's bright, sharp, easy on the eyes, and certified for low blue light and flicker-free use. This is the kind of screen you expect on much more expensive devices, not an entry in the lower mid-range. Under the hood, the Dimensity 7025 Ultra delivers stable everyday performance. It's not about chasing benchmark records. It's about smooth navigation, consistent multitasking, and reliable thermals. Paired with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, the phone feels fast enough today and safe for the next few years. The camera setup is another quiet surprise. A 108-megapixel main sensor with optical image stabilization delivers detailed photos with solid dynamic range, especially in daylight. Low light shots are controlled and usable, which isn't something you can say about every phone in this segment. Redmi Note 14 5G takes 5th place, not because it's flashy, but because it's honest. A well-rounded Xiaomi phone that does almost everything right and asks for very little in return.
4th place, and this is where Xiaomi stops playing it safe. Poco X7 PRO enters the ranking like a statement, not a compromise. This is the phone Xiaomi gives to users who care about speed, responsiveness, and raw tech muscle, but still don't want to cross into flagship pricing. Everything here revolves around performance. The Dimensity 8400 Ultra on a 4-nanometer process isn't just fast on paper, it's aggressive in real use. Apps snap open, heavy multitasking feels effortless, and gaming finally makes sense without throttling panic. This is one of those devices that stays cool when others start slowing down. The display pushes that experience even further. A 6.67-inch Crystal Res AMOLED with sharp 1.5K resolution, 120 Hz refresh rate, and insane touch sampling up to 2560 Hz in game turbo mode. It's bright, contrasty, ultra-responsive, and fully Dolby Vision ready. This screen doesn't just look good, it reacts instantly, which matters more than most people realize. Camera-wise, Poco X7 PRO stays practical. A 50-megapixel main sensor with optical stabilization delivers clean, controlled photos, while video goes all the way up to 4K at 60 frames, with serious shooting tools like log profiles and stabilization modes. It's not a camera phone, it's a reliable one. And then there's the battery. 6,000 milliamp hours with 90-watt hypercharge changes daily habits fast. You stop thinking about charging altogether. 3rd place. And this is where Xiaomi clearly steps into near flagship territory without pretending to be one. The Xiaomi 15T feels like a phone built for people who already know what they want and don't need gimmicks to be impressed. It starts with scale and confidence. A massive 6.83-inch AMOLED display with a sharp 2772 by 1280 resolution, deep contrast, Dolby Vision, HDR10+, and extreme peak brightness up to 3200 nits. This is not just a big screen, it's a calibrated, eye-care-focused panel that stays readable outdoors and comfortable during long sessions. Smooth 120Hz motion and ultra-fast touch response make it feel precise, not oversized. Performance follows the same philosophy. The Dimensity 8400 Ultra delivers serious power with excellent efficiency. Paired with 12 GB of RAM and 512 GB of storage, the phone handles heavy multitasking, gaming, and AI features effortlessly, without heat spikes or random slowdowns. It feels stable, controlled, and future-proof. Cameras are where the 15T quietly flexes. Leica optics with a 50-megapixel main sensor, real telephoto, and ultra-wide coverage give it versatility most phones in this class don't offer. Photos look natural, video is clean up to 4K at 60, and color science stays consistent across lenses. Third place fits perfectly. Xiaomi 15T isn't chasing attention, it earns respect through balance, refinement, and real flagship DNA at a smarter price. Second place, and this is the moment where Xiaomi stops flirting with flagship ideas and fully commits to them. Xiaomi 15 is the phone that proves compact doesn't mean compromised anymore. It's precise, dense, and engineered with intent. This device feels different the second you pick it up. A 6.36-inch Crystal Res AMOLED is small by 2026 standards, but the quality is extreme. Ultra bright up to 3200 nits, perfectly calibrated colors, adaptive refresh from 1 to 120 Hz, Dolby Vision, HDR10+, and eye care certifications across the board. It's one of those displays that looks expensive, sharp, and effortless in every lighting condition. Power is where Xiaomi 15 quietly dominates. The Snapdragon 8 Elite on a 3nm process delivers flagship-level speed without instability. Everything feels instant. Heavy multitasking, sustained gaming, AI features, all handled with confidence thanks to Xiaomi's advanced cooling system. With 12 GB of RAM and 512 GB of storage, this phone isn't just fast today, it's built to stay fast. Cameras push it even further. Triple 50-megapixel Leica optics with a large main sensor, real floating telephoto, and a true ultra-wide give you flexibility most compact phones can't offer. Photos are clean, natural, and controlled. Video feels cinematic rather than processed. Second place suits it perfectly. Xiaomi 15 is a flagship for people who value balance, precision, and real-world usability, not oversized phones or empty spec flexing. First place, and this is where Xiaomi removes all doubts. Xiaomi 15T Pro isn't a best for the price phone, it's a statement device. A smartphone built to dominate on specs, execution, and raw capability, without apologizing for being big, powerful, and unapologetically top tier. Everything here is maxed out. The massive 6.83-inch AMOLED display runs at 144 Hz, hits extreme brightness up to 3200 nits, and stays razor-sharp with a 2772 by 1280 resolution. Motion is fluid, touch response is instant, and eye care technologies actually work in real life, not just on paper. This screen feels engineered for long sessions, gaming, video, and serious daily use. Performance is on another level. The Dimensity 9400 Plus, built on a 3nm process, delivers brutal speed with surprising control. Heavy multitasking, sustained gaming, AI workloads, it handles all of it without thermal drama. With 12 GB of RAM and 512 GB of storage, this phone isn't just fast now, it's future-proof. The camera system seals the deal. Leica optics, a large main sensor, true ultra-wide coverage, and a serious 115mm telephoto give you real photographic flexibility. Add 8K video and high frame rate 4K, and this becomes a tool, not a toy. First place is earned. Xiaomi 15T Pro is the most complete Xiaomi smartphone of 2026. Powerful, refined, and absolutely uncompromising. And that's the full picture. In 2026, Xiaomi isn't about chasing trends. It's about controlling every tier of the market with intent. From smart budget choices to full-power flagships, each phone in this top has a clear purpose, a clear audience, and real strengths beyond spec sheets. No filler models, no fake upgrades, just devices that actually make sense to buy and live with. This is Xiaomi at its most confident, and this ranking proves it.